Hello, my name is Ian Sutton. Welcome to this video that explains our Operational Excellence Assessment System. To learn more about the background to this system and its objectives, please download our white paper Assessing Operational Excellence from the link that you will see on the next slide. At this point, it is sufficient to say that the system aims to meet the following goals. 1. It provides managers with an opportunity to assess, not audit, the quality of their process safety programs. These programs include onshore process safety management, offshore safety and environmental management systems, SEMS, and safety cases. 2. The system helps managers use the results from their safety analyses to improve business performance in areas such as production and profitability. 3. It provides guidance and expertise for those who are entering the energy or process industries and who may lack the appropriate mentoring. 4. It helps engineers and technical experts sift through the vast amount of information that is available on the internet. The system, which is built using Excel worksheets, is flexible and adaptable. It is simple for you to add or remove worksheets and to change the worksheets that we provide to meet the needs of your facility. We do not use any kind of complex programming. You simply have to have a working knowledge of Excel. Moreover, if you would like to move the questions and their associated support files into your facility's own management system, that can be arranged. You can conduct an assessment either to review a specific facility at a specific time, or you can use the system to evaluate the facility's overall operational excellence program. Here are 4 links. Live versions are provided at our Sutton Technical Books homepage at iansutton.com. The first link takes you to our white paper Assessing Operational Excellence. It explains the philosophy behind this system. 2. The video link takes you to the video that goes with what you are reading now. 3. The video storyboard link takes you to this document. And 4. The trial version allows you access to a restricted version of the system so that you can get a feel for how it works. The image on this slide represents the philosophy behind this system. The inner circle represents the facility's process safety management system. That system is integrated with other technical and operational management systems to create operational excellence. Those systems in turn are integrated with other business practices to create business excellence. Here we see the overall structure of the Operational Excellence Assessment System. At the top is the Assessment Overview. It provides a top-level overview of the quality of your operational excellence system based on the responses you give to the questions in the worksheets. Below the overall assessment are 18 workbooks, starting with 1, Culture, and ending with 18, Industries. In the Excel system, a workbook consists of a collection of worksheets or spreadsheets. Each workbook represents a management element in the overall operational excellence system. These elements are based on the sections of a typical process safety program, but they also include assessment questions to do with operability and design. Associated with all of the questions are supporting files that provide information and guidance to do with the topic being analyzed. These supporting files, which are generally accessed through a link named Commentary, are a vital part of this assessment. Their purpose is to provide guidance and suggestions so that the management system can be as effective as possible at improving safety, production and profitability. Attached to the assessment overview is a project information sheet that contains information such as the location of the review and the names of the reviewers. This information can be modified in individual workbooks and worksheets. Initially, the worksheets that we show in this video will not have data in them. We will gradually add information to them to show you how the system works. Now let's take a brief tour of the system, starting with the Project Information Worksheet. Here is the blank Project Information sheet. At this point, there is no information in it. The top two lines show the title of this worksheet and the revision number. The next line down is Assistance. This link will take you to a PDF document that provides help to do with using this worksheet. Below the graphic are 4 links. The first is OE Assessment. This link takes us to the top-level workbook or assessment overview, the heart of this system. Next, there is a link to the video that provides an overview of the system and how it works. The third link is to the user guide or storyboard that accompanies the video and that you are reading now. Finally, there is a link to the white paper that describes the philosophy and purpose behind this operational excellence system. Now we come to the project information box. The information here will flow across to the overall assessment sheet and then down to the individual workbooks and worksheets. The information in those workbooks and worksheets can be modified, but it will remain local. It will not flow back up to the project information sheet. Next, we see the acceptability criteria. As you will see as we progress through the system, the results of the assessments are ranked as being unacceptable, acceptable, and excellent. The default values used for these criteria are shown. They are less than 50%, between 50 and 75%, and above 75%. These are live numbers, you can change them. Enter the number as a decimal fraction. There is also a notes box that can be used to enter additional free-form information. Now let's add some information to this project information sheet. Here is the same sheet, but we have added some dummy information. We have shown the names of the reviewers, the location, the facility, date, and company. Let's follow the OE assessment link on line 6. Now we are at the heart of the system, the top-level worksheet. Its title is Operational Excellence Assessment Overview. It shows the overall results for the assessment. Once more, we start with an empty worksheet. We will add data and information as we progress through this video. At the top of the sheet is its title, revision number, and an assistance link that provides you with guidance as to how to use this worksheet. Next, we have 4 links. The first is Project. It will take you back to the Project Information Worksheet that we have just looked at. The second link is to the video that describes this system. The second link to the user guide or storyboard that accompanies the video. The fourth link is to the white paper that we have already discussed. Below the image is the project information block. This picks up the information that was entered into the project information worksheet. However, it is possible to change the information at this stage. In this example, you can see that the facility title has been changed from gas removal to gas absorption. This change will flow down to the lower level sheets, but it will not flow back to the project information sheet. We have also changed the name of the second reviewer to Joe James. Now we come to the 18 workbooks, each of which corresponds to a management element. The list starts with 1, Culture, and finishes with 18, Industries. Each workbook has an internal yes or no switch that controls the flow of information into this top-level spreadsheet. At this point, all 18 of the workbooks are switched off. Hence, there are no data in this top-level sheet at this time. For each of the workbooks, there are 6 columns. The first column, Category, lists the management elements. Each title is hyperlinked to the workbook to which it is related. The next column, Questions, shows the number of questions in each workbook. Third, there is no obligation to answer every question in every worksheet. So the next column shows the number of active questions that that are available, and this may be less than the number of total questions. For example, if a question to do with project work is, do modified relief vents go to a safe location? If that project did not change the relief vents, then that question would be NA, not applicable, and the number of active questions would be less than the total number of questions. The fourth column, Sheets, shows the number of active spreadsheets for each workbook. Once more, it is possible to deactivate individual worksheets within the workbooks. Not all the worksheets have to be used, so the number of active sheets may be less than the total number of worksheets in the system. The fifth column shows the assigned score for that workbook, with values ranging from 0 to 100%. The final column provides an evaluation of that workbook score. The default values, which we have already discussed, are unacceptable, acceptable, and excellent. The bottom lines summarize the data in the worksheet. It shows the number of questions, the total number of active questions, the number of active worksheets, and the overall score weighted according to contribution. At present, because all the workbooks are switched off, values here are all 0. Now let's drill down one level to one of the workbooks. We will start with 17, Operational Readiness, a topic also referred to as pre-startup safety reviews. At this time, all the worksheets are turned off, so the cells do not contain information or data. The first two rows show that we are looking at the topic of operational readiness and that we are working with revision 1.0. On the next row are two links. OE Assessment takes us back to the top-level summary sheet. The second link is Commentary. This is a link to a PDF file that provides you with a description and discussion to do with the topic of operational readiness. We will discuss it in the next slide. Below the image is the project information that we have already seen and that flows down from the project information sheet. This information can be changed here. Any change will not affect any of the other worksheets or workbooks. The next step is to answer the question as to whether this workbook is to be used. Currently, this is set at No, which is why the information in this sheet does not flow up to the overall assessment sheet. The workbook itself is divided into two sections, 17.1 Organization and 17.2 Review, with 10 worksheets overall. Just as the workbook can be turned on or off, so each of the worksheets can be either inactive or active. The workbook has 5 columns. The first column shows the title of each of the worksheets that make up this workbook. There are 10 of these altogether. Each title is hyperlinked to its worksheet. The next column gives the total number of questions for each worksheet. The third column shows the number of active questions. Some questions can be given a non-applicable response, so this number may be smaller than the total number of questions. Next, we have the overall score for each of the worksheets. This will be a value in the 0 to 100% range. The final column is the evaluation. If you point to the cell containing the word evaluation, you will see the scoring criteria pop up. You will recall that the preset values are 0, missing or inadequate, 1, poor, 2, adequate, 3, good, 4, excellent, NA, not applicable. At the bottom of this workbook is a cell showing the number of active worksheets. When you click on the commentary link, you will be asked to read or download a file with the title shown. This document provides an overview discussion of the topics of operational readiness and pre-startup safety reviews. The material in it is extracted from the ebook Pre-Startup Reviews, details of which are provided at the address shown. Now let's move down to one of the worksheets. We will start with 17.1.1 Operational Readiness, Organization, Program. Currently this is a blank sheet. The This sheet to be used question is set at No, and all the score cells are empty. Below the image we see 3 links. The first is Commentary. This is a file that provides guidance, thoughts and suggestions for each of the questions in the sheet. We stress there are no right or wrong answers to any of these questions. They are intended to elicit opinions and to create discussion. This review is not an audit. We will have more to say about this very important feature in the next slide. The next link, 17 Operational Readiness, takes us back to the workbook of that name, the one that we have just left. The third link takes us up 2 steps to the Operational Excellence Assessment Summary worksheet. Next, we see the project information with which we are already familiar. We can modify it here if we wish. Moving down, we see the menu item, This sheet to be used. This is a menu that gives you the choice of entering yes or no. If you enter no, this worksheet will make no contribution to the overall assessment. Next, we see a box showing the total number of questions in this worksheet, the total number of active questions, and the overall score. The question box has 4 columns. The first column shows the question number. This particular sheet has 15 questions. Just a few of them are shown. If you would like to add your own questions, you're free to do so. Just make sure that they are included in the totals line at the bottom of the sheet. The second column provides the questions themselves. Generally, these are open-ended questions, i.e. they do not solicit a yes-no response. In the third column, we provide the score of 0 to 4. If you move your pointer to the cell with the word score in it, a pop-up box showing the scoring criteria appears. If you enter NA or N, then the results of that question do not contribute toward the overall analysis. The notes box allows for free-form information to be entered. Here we see the commentary to do with worksheet 17.1.1. You will see that there is a discussion associated with each question. We use the word discussion advisedly. As already stressed, there are no right answers to these questions. For example, the discussion to do with the first question states that the most important issue to do with operational readiness and pre-startup safety review programs is ensuring that the operations and maintenance managers, the people who are responsible for running the change facilities after the handover, understand that they are the ones who decide whether or not the modified system is ready to go. If necessary, their authority has the force of law behind it. You may not agree with this philosophy and regarding what has been said about this question. That's perfectly acceptable. The essential point is that the review team think through the implications of 17.1.1. Let's move up to the Operational Readiness Workbook Summary. Sure enough, we see that there is now 1 active question in the workbook system, and that our score so far is 25%. At the bottom of the sheet, we also see that the number of active sheets is now 1. While we're at the sheet, let's change its workbook to be used question to yes. This will allow the information that we have here to flow up to the overall assessment sheet. Now let's move up to the Operational Readiness Workbook Summary. Sure enough, we see that there is now 1 active question in this workbook system and that our score so far is 25%. At the bottom of the sheet, we also see that the number of active sheets is now 1. While we are here at this workbook, let's change the question its workbook to be used to yes. This will allow the information that we have here to flow up to the overall assessment sheet. We are at the overall assessment sheet once more. The responses to the 1 question that was answered in worksheet 17.1.1 have now made their way to the overall Operational Readiness Workbook. Let's complete the Operational Readiness Worksheet with representative data. We see here that we have a total of 128 questions of which 118 are active. The overall score is 64%, which is considered to be acceptable. There are 10 active worksheets. Here we see the complete information for the Operational Readiness workbook. We have also added input from 2 other workbooks, Culture and Incident Investigation. We see the following results. There are 470 questions in these 3 workbooks. 450 of the questions are active. There are 46 active worksheets. The workbook scores are, for Culture, 47%, considered to be unacceptable. Incident Investigation is excellent, and Operational Readiness is acceptable. The overall score is 62%, which is regarded as being acceptable. We provide a trial version of our Operational Excellence Assessment System. The following items are activated in the trial version: the Assessment Overview Worksheet, the first 3 worksheets to do with the Workbook Culture, and the first 3 worksheets to do with the Workbook Operational Readiness. All you need to run this system is a copy of Excel. The file can be downloaded from the address shown in the next slide. You will see that we have given an arbitrary score of 2, which means adequate, to all of the questions on the sheet that you download. Feel free to change those scores to fit the situation at your facility or design office. Well, that concludes our overview of the Operational Excellence Assessment System. As a reminder, the links to the various documents that you might want to refer to are shown here. If you would like to contact us, please use the contact link at our website, iansutton.com. Thank you for joining us.